In terms of agenda, I didn't have much. I just was waiting for feedback on the spec that was already sent out. That's up to date. The PR that I submitted is up to date based on the comments received from the previous call a couple of weeks back. So if everyone can please take a look and let me know what I'd like, what I had to have to change there, then we can proceed maybe.
Actually, we were quite busy with the audit, so I didn't have much time to look at it.
Yes, we are both preoccupied with fixing the audit issue, and like just from front and back, like going back and forth with the auditors. So we had many changes done in a relatively short time. So I also didn't have time to look at the latest changes, but we can ask Yoav if he did.
Right.
Once he joins.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I didn't have much chance to look at it either, but I think this weekend I plan on digging into it.
All right. That'd be great.
I don't remember his name. And the same guy to look at it, to give us feedback. With Stokes? I don't remember who was it.
I thought that was Daniel, right?
Maybe, yes.
No, I think Alex Stokes is maybe you're talking about. He was.
Oh yeah, okay.
Alex Stokes, yeah.
On the choice of dev P2P.
Oh, sorry, I got my names confused. You're from Block Native, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm just waiting for feedback on that. The other two couple of questions I had was a decision on, setting up the boot nodes and if we are to test. Oh, Yoav is here. Hello, good evening, Joe.
Hi. Yeah, sorry I'm late. Things a bit having a bit of a hectic day.
I understand. Anyways, we just started. So I was asking if, did you have time to review the PR on the updated changes that I submitted for the spec? Yo, that's a question to you. Sorry.
Yeah. Are you talking about the one from last week? If there was anything, if anything happened this week, there was at ETLV the entire week. I haven't checked email and haven't seen any PR. So
right.
It's just this week I'm out of everything. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think immediately after our call, the previous call, I updated the spec. It's now in line with what we agreed during the last call. So the ENR structure and all the other comments that I had received with respect to gossip subtopics as well as request response have been addressed there, and I've pushed a new version. It's still failing for some linting issue. I'm waiting for Shahaf to let me know how to fix that. But otherwise, in terms of specification and the decisions we had arrived at, that seemed to be all there. I also pushed a draft version of the JSON structure on the mempool JSON file that we had agreed. So if you can probably take a look and see if I need to add some additional fields there, that'll be great. So probably I'll if when you have time in the coming week, if you can take a look and let me know, I'll update the spec accordingly. The few other questions I had was in terms of setting up of boot nodes for us to proceed. We have to take a call or a decision on that. And are we going to set up a test suite for specifically for the P2P protocol? And if so, how do we proceed on that front?
Yes. Okay. So regarding the test suite, we already have the bundle spec test that the Python test suite that that we have in our repo. So we obviously also want to add the peer-to-peer network tests over there. And we also actually would like to make it more similar to how Hive runs the tests for nodes in Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we should definitely add the tests there. And also, if any of you want to open pull requests or stuff like that and add tests or basically just have suggestions about tests that needed to be done over there, it would also be helpful. And
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, because the idea is have an automated test suite, and actually we created a repo. Apart from the tests, we have also a Hive style executor that can execute bundlers, and I give you the URL, and you can actually push a bundler into the list. It runs the test, collect them, and right now it just dumps a total value, like for each bundler in the list, which is currently 1. It will show how many successes and how many failures.
Right.
It does collect the history, so we will be able to see progress over time. When there are new tests, probably some bundlers will fail, and then they will add the test, and then we will see we're adding them. We want to add to this list also a mempool test, that is bring 2 bundlers and make a test on 2 of them. What I'm not sure whether it's going to be better to use Hive directly for that, or use our environment to do it. These are 2 options. Because for the normal tests, Hive is not good for applicative tests like we have. We need a lot of contracts. They use JSON files to dump into the nodes to run the tests. So for the basic test, I think that our model is better. For interrupt tests between different bundlers, I'm not sure. So if anyone has knowledge in Hive and can share it, it would be nice.
Okay. So what I thought doing with Net is, I think that all the test suites should be in one place. Like, I don't want to have multiple repos. Each one of them tests different part of the bundle. So even if we use something like Hive directly, even we can also do it inside the repo itself and have basically the bundler run only one test suite, and that might run several different tests. So
I agree.
Think, yeah.
Okay. I agree that there is a repo that is the of the test, and we have it. That's a spec test, and there is the repo I will share now, and that is the and that is just a second. Okay, I joined again, so I will be able to send in a chat. Where's the chat here? There's a button for a chat.
I just sent a message. You should be able to see it now.
Yeah.
The right, I mean, the third one from the right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. This link is the link for the bundlers test suite.
Yeah.
And then, and if you go into that repo, it shows our bundler. And if you go into that repo, there is a folder called launchers. And inside, you need to have a folder or a script that bring up your bundler. It is best to be a Docker that starts your bundler. This is how I did it. I created for our bundler a Docker image. If you add if you make a PR into this repo and you add a launcher script, then the script will also run your bundler, and it will be added to the table as another line.
Gotcha. Which is the repo? This is part of the test suite repo on GitHub, is it?
It is on the GitHub. It is not the spec test itself. It's the executor of the tests.
Oh, gotcha.
It's not every push into the test will automatically. Right now, I want to change that. We'll run this test, and you can have many pushes into this one. It is not a spec itself. It's an executor of the tests.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I'll submit. I mean, at the moment, it will be testing just the RPC endpoints. But once we start adding the test suite for P2P, if
Yes, we will
a bundler is added here, it gets executed. Yeah, that makes sense.
But the PTP will be more complex because it will have to start two bundlers.
Two bundlers,
and
yeah.
then run tests on two of them. Right now, our tests work with a single bundler.
Yep.
And also, the launcher, if you will see, assumes that the bundler runs on a specific port and that the node runs on another port.
Yep.
Okay. We'll need a launcher for each two bundlers combination because we need to start a single node and two bundlers pointing to the same node. Because
I mean, probably shouldn't we have two different implementations of bundler nodes talking to each other in terms of integration tests, right?
Yes, of course. It needs two bundlers, but each bundler works with a network.
Yep.
Right now, when you start a launcher using this repo, your launcher has to start a bundler and also has to start a node for itself.
Right.
A node that it was tested with. Because I don't know if your bundler is integrated with specific node, if you are using, like I did, the tracer call, or you are using some other deep integration with your node, which both are okay. But once we do integration between two nodes, we need them to share a single Ethereum network behind. So either the two nodes communicate with each other, or that the two bundlers work with the same node.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it would help if we probably choose one of the Ethereum testnets for this particular purpose. We would need the canonical mempool ID for that.
Yes, you're right. For this test, yes, mempool test can run against. It's okay. We'll run it against Gurley. Right. It will be easier. Yes, but.
So for I mean, once you had a look at the spec and are satisfied with the JSON structure file, we'll probably, if you can publish the mempool ID corresponding to the canonical mempool on Gorley, we can use that as the mempool for testing.
Yeah, so we'll start with some mempool for testing. No, it's not have to be specific hash of anything. It's just for testing will be much less formal.
Okay. And does it also make sense to probably have a working version of a testnet linked to a testnet network of bundlers linked to a particular Ethereum network for us to start testing in real time as well, apart from the test suite?
Right now, there's not. The point is an entry point, and there is no canonical entry point yet, because we are constantly modifying it with in the last week for all the audits. And each change means it's a different address and different feature set, slight changes in the API. So we're not there yet. Once we will be able to release it only once we have solidify at least the interface of the entry point, and then the actual implementation. So yes, we need to prepare for that, but we're not there yet.
Okay. So what would you? Sorry, what would you then suggest? Sorry, go on.
I hope that by the end of this week we will finish the auditing. I'm not sure it's going to be with this week, maybe next week. But we do want before Denver to have something released out.
So ideally, the best time to probably look at, the next call is, I think, just before each Denver, right? I'm not. We'll probably have more clarity at that time when things would be ready and whether we'll have a canonical mempool set up or not.
Yes, but I'm not optimistic that by Denver we will have a fully working mempool.
Okay.
Let's hope. I hope.
Gotcha.
But we will have a canonical entry point.
All right. So what do you think would be the action points for us for the coming couple of weeks, and what do you suggest we work on? Is there anything else you'd like us to plan?
Uh,
So I have a suggestion, or maybe just a remark around surrounding that. Since there are several bundled implementations, and while it might be more relevant to the bundler talk, to the bundler meeting, but I think that having some kind of an status update about which about each bundler, where it stands and what parts is actually implemented, whether it's testable, and like getting basically an update of where each team is at might also help to understand which problem each team has in order to standardize maybe not only the mempool but other parts that are also important for the compatibility between them.
Again, the what? I didn't hear you.
Okay,
Not
there
only
are
the
but other parts that are important for the compatibility. Okay, so for example, to understand if if someone had issues with implementing the opcode banning or the storage rules or stuff like that, basically to understand to get a status update, I think that syncing up on that will help us basically move faster on implementing the bundles. No.
Look, we will get that in real time if we look at the bundle test results. If everybody
Yeah.
will auto update the Docker images and the
Mhm.
bundle test results will get updated, then you will see a status. Not sure
Right.
how often people will update it. Is not, but this is one way for people to
Yep.
expose their support.
I mean, in
And
Etherspot side, we've been running against the test suite. Our bundlers implementation fails 10 test cases conditions right now. We are looking to resolve that. But when we compared against what StackUp have, their bundler implementation also seem to fail those 10 test conditions. So we are not sure if it's a problem with the payload, but still looking into that.
okay, I wish I could say I would help you. Well, a
No,
bit
I
stressed
understand.
right now, so I will not.
Yeah.
But yes, this is something that looking at the test will.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we are currently
Actually,
working.
no, this is
Sorry.
something that looking at the dashboard of the test results
Yep.
might bubble up, because if we see that several bundlers have problem with specific tests, we need to think what is the problem, because if it is complex for you to implement it, something is problematic with our description, with the reference implementation, because of course we build the reference implementation alongside the spec tests themselves, so the reference implementation usually follows very well the tests.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I think we ran the test suite against the reference implementation version 2, and those 10 conditions were failing there as well. That's why we thought probably the payload we were using had some issue there. I don't have the data with me right now, but probably I'll share later.
Okay.
I mean, this week with
So
what
if
the
it
test
happens,
conditions are.
yeah, so
I suggest
if it happens, maybe that's also something that you can share on Telegram or on Discord or wherever you like, so we can actually take a look at that. Now, as Dror said, we are currently preoccupied with the audit, and we also had a conference in the meantime. So we had a lot going on right now. But once the audit is over and we are fixated on entry point and basically core contracts, we are going to get back to the bundler, both the spec test and the reference implementations, and continue to extend it. So I believe we're getting there like next week, and we can also help you in integrating with the test, like testing against our tests. So you can just ask specific questions on chat or something like that.
Just no, because I want to one thing about the spec test that the test result page. Why I don't see the messages I sent? Ah, okay, because I'm a different person right now. Never mind. What I want to say is that in this page, if you add yourself to this page, maybe it can even help.
Mm-hmm.
How do I share? Let me see. How do I share screen? Whiteboard. How do you share screen here?
Present now. From the right, the third one.
Ah, okay. Looks like upload. Share window. Okay. This is the page of the bundle spec test, but it's not much. You will add a line and you will see how many total and how many failures. Oh, and I see that the last run was a test run. I need to run it against the latest because it did only 4 tests. But what you also see is the entire test results when running the spec test itself. And because it is runs in the cloud, it will be the exact spec test running your bundlers and ours.
Right.
So if there is any discrepancy, it is the same environment. So it's not initial data, it's not everything. It is the bundler and the node behind it that shows. So yes, I think it's something that might help diagnosing such bugs, and if needed, maybe we'll add the diagnostic into the tests, like so that we'll be able to see the results. And okay.
Right. So regarding the 2 calls, are you you raised this as I mean, at the beginning of the call, how do you want to proceed? We continue to have these the core developers call every 2 weeks and the bundler meeting once every month. Does that work, or do you want to club both of them together?
What is the difference? I missed the difference. What is the?
So the core team are the ones who are working on the protocol specification, right? We wanted a closed group for that, and the bundler group was just to discuss the integration tests issues or any other issues that came up with the implementation as such.
Yes, I agree with that, and I think that the current framework is fine. Like having a call for each every 2 weeks is fine for me.
All right.
Yes, and yeah, I think it makes sense to keep this separation and have a smaller work group when working on the protocol.
Okay, let's keep it.
Right. These were the only things in my agenda. So we're just waiting for the spec. I mean, once this team has reviewed it, then we can probably share the spec with the wider group and seek their feedback as well.
Yeah. So so I will also review the latest PR. I apologize again for not having time this week, but I will review it ASAP and add my comments.
Sounds good. So yeah, I had nothing else. But before we go, are you all happy with the call for on the 23rd? Because I believe many of you might be flying to Denver as well, right?
Yes, but let's see on the 20.
We fly on the 20 on the 1st or on the.
I'm flying on the 20. I'm flying on the 28th since I'm speaking at 2 conferences on March 1st.
Okay, so this is on 23rd. So I think the hackathon at then. Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, the 23rd is fine. The week after, I'm going to be with Denver.
All right. I don't have anything else unless anybody else has any questions.
No.
All right then.
All right.
Thanks everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Later.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, everyone.